Norfolk, Virginia, where Old Dominion is hosting Western Kentucky in a CUSA Saturday night matchup right here at the TED. These two teams are expected to be at the top of CUSA this season. They're facing off tonight, and we are so happy to be bringing it to you exclusively right here on Facebook. Hey everybody, I'm Kristen Balboni, your courtside reporter for this game. I'll be joined by Chris Hassel and Doug Gottlieb, my broadcasting partners, in just a couple of minutes. We got a great one here tonight. But more so than that, if you've never watched one of our games that's broadcast exclusively on Facebook, we got a lot more than just the game coming your way. That's because we want to hear from you this entire game. You are a huge part of this broadcast. There's a couple of ways that you can contribute. First and foremost, keep the comments coming all game long. You'll see them start to scroll here as we get things underway. We want to hear from you throughout this entire game. We don't have any commercials. Instead, we want to use that time to talk to you. First and foremost, would love to know, as we always start these games out, by finding out where everyone is watching from and who you're rooting for. Just go ahead and leave that in the comments. We'll be reading all of your comments throughout the game, so be sure to check in on all of those. You can also see yourself here on the game by posting on Instagram. It is super easy. All you do is you go to Instagram, you take a picture, maybe you show your gear off if you're rooting for one of these teams. Maybe you take a picture of your setup. Maybe you're here at the game. So take a picture, whatever you want, as long as it relates to the game. Use the hashtag WKUVSODU, as in Western Kentucky versus Old Dominion. Use that hashtag, post it on Instagram, and you will see your picture right here on this broadcast. As I said, we got a lot of fun coming your way. But first and foremost, we got a great game coming your way between Western Kentucky and Old Dominion. As I said, two teams that we expect to be near the top of Conference USA by the time the season ends. Western Kentucky coming in on a high note. They've won 3 straight games. They're also in the middle of a tough stretch. They are starting their first 3 games of conference play on the road. This is game number 2 for them of that. And then Old Dominion. Talk about a little bit of a rough stretch. They had won 8 straight games until Thursday night when they lost a heartbreaker to Marshall, and a lot of it came at the hands of that guy right there, John Elmore, Marshall's star. He had a big game. Old Dominion had a good game as well. It was back and forth the entire game until the very end. John Elmore passes the ball, as you see right there, to Jared West. 1.9 seconds left, and Old Dominion loses that game 70-67. So very close one right there. Certainly they want to win this game. And guys, Chris Hassel, Doug Gottlieb, would love to bring you into the conversation right now. Does this feel to you like this is a must-win game for Old Dominion after that devastating loss against Marshall?
Kristen, thanks for bringing us in. I'm gonna let Doug take that one away. Because I certainly feel like it is when you got 2 home games to start the conference season.
Yeah, you get 2 home games. You get them on not just your floor, but 2 of the elite teams in the league. Yeah, you don't want to go 0-2. I don't know if it's must win, but really sets you back emotionally and in the league championship if you lose the first 2 at home.
And Marshall, by the way, Kristen, I'm not sure if you saw this, just moments ago squeaked by Charlotte by 1 point on the road. Incredibly tight. So they almost came in here and beat Old Dominion and then lost at Charlotte.
Wow, a lot going on in CUSA, no doubt about it. All right. We are getting to the game in just a minute, but right now we are going to listen to the National Anthem.
To accomplish this feat, Monarch Nation, give it up for BJ Stitt. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remove all hats as we play our national anthem tonight. The anthem will be performed by the Churchland High School Concert Choir.
Bright this might be the best thing you've seen today.
Humanity's got to play the rest of the day. I can't believe what I just saw. We got a ball game.
Welcome to Stadium's coverage of Conference USA Hoops, exclusively on Facebook. We're in Norfolk, Virginia, home of the Old Dominion Monarchs. They took an 8-game winning streak into conference play onto this floor, but they lost here on Thursday to conference favorite Marshall. Tonight, the other conference favorite in town, Western Kentucky, started slow, but coming on hot. With Doug Gottlieb, I'm Chris Hassel. Kristen Balboni will be joining us in just a moment. Western Kentucky won its conference opener on the road in Charlotte. They preceded that by beating Wisconsin at home and beating St. Mary's at home. And this is the most talented team in the conference, Western Kentucky.
No question. Rick Stansbury obviously is loaded up with talent. Another incoming freshman, Charles Bassey, who's likely to put his name in the NBA draft. Kind of mans the inside. It gives you the type of interior presence you usually don't see in mid-major basketball. And then, you know, you have other elite scorers on the perimeter to go around them. So this is a Western Kentucky team that you'd probably say underachieved in the non-conference, but they seem to have figured themselves out. And now they're taking on an Old Dominion team that lost at home in surprising fashion to Marshall the other night.
So the 2017 Kentucky Mr. Basketball is from Lexington. Somehow, John Calipari let him get away to Bowling Green. Tavion Hollingsworth, man, he is something special.
No, he really is. He's more scorer than shooter. He's only 165 pounds. I mean, like, look, I think sometimes you evaluate guys based upon what he's going to be in the NBA, not what he's going to be in college. This guy's a great college player. He is in attack mode. He's not a point, he's not a two. He's just a scoring guard. And Old Dominion wants to build a wall and keep him out in lane, but they got a challenge for three. And then we mentioned Bassey. There is nothing spectacular about his game. He can shoot at three. He's made 5 of them this year. He can score in low post. He can rebound. He's just a really good basketball player that honestly plays a little bit older than he is. Very mature, very methodical, steps in, post up. He's a good, solid, low post player who can step out and face up, shoot the basketball. You're not going to see him over the hand of the ball. You're not going to see him jump up and touch the top of the backboard, but he is athletic, he is strong, he can do a little bit of everything.
He was a 5-star recruit, a top 10 recruit. So Western Kentucky has a bunch of top-level talent. Old Dominion off to a good start in the non-conference and moving into conference play, but they're really just a two-man team.
They are a two-man team. Well, let's start with B.J. Stiff. Dad is a legend at Virginia, all-time lead scorer on the bench here at ODU. He transfers in from Virginia and played with his brother last year. He's not fancy. He's just really, really skilled. Scored his 1,000th point going back 2 nights ago. He can score inside and out, and he's a problem defensively. And then you mentioned that you have a two-headed monster. This team's about their guards, and their guards will spread you out. They'll beat you off the dribble. They'll share the basketball. I think Stiff is obviously the best kind of solid player. Caver thinks he's the best guard in this league. Now, he doesn't always play like it. Didn't play great the other night. But, again, in attack mode, can score, can pass, can attack off the ball screen. End of shot clock, you're going to get one of the two with the basketball trying to make a play.
Problem is that they're looking for that third score, and they don't have it as of right now. We'll send it over to Kristen Balboni, because Western Kentucky, I mean, they have reinforcements coming if everything comes together. Kristen has an update on one of the missing pieces so far this season.
That's right. Lamonte Bearden is a coach's decision for this game. It's been a really interesting situation with Bearden all season long. So the first 9 games of the season, he did not play because he was academically ineligible. You see him warming up right there. Then he played 2 games, and then during the St. Mary's game, there was a report that he had an ankle injury. He has not played since then, but head coach Rick Stansbury told us at shoot-around today, he said he's not injured. He said it's a coach's decision, and we could see him at any time during this game, guys.
Lamonte Bearden transferred in from Buffalo, and during his freshman year, he led him to the NCAA tournament. He's tremendous talent athletically. Not a shooter, but a great passer, and he changes the tempo of this game. And this is an Old Dominion team that when they get sped up, they're not as good.
Well, the point guard that has taken over for Western Kentucky the last few games is Delano Benton, number 20. He is 6'8", a freshman from Toronto, Canada. He's been lights out since he's been inserted into that point guard role. Old Dominion's got the two great guards, B.J. Smith and Ahmad Caver. They're looking for that third scorer. Can it be Xavier Green? Aaron Carver's more of an inside guy along with Obert Robinson the third. And we are set to go here in Norfolk, Virginia. They call it the TED. TED Constant Convocation Center. It holds just over 8,000. Nearly full house tonight, even though the students aren't back from break yet. Underway with Western Kentucky in the road red, and there is Delano Benton running that point. 6'8", and he's about 7 feet with the fro.
I was waiting for you to get your Fletch reference in. 6'6", 6'9" with the afro. Of course, Fletch a little bit before your time.
I mean, it's still good. Chevy Chase,
No, Chevy Chase
right in his heyday.
Chevy Chase not funny anymore. Literally
Hasn't been funny for 25 years, unfortunately.
Yeah, really amazing. Like Dane Cook is the next guy was supposedly funny and not anymore.
Traveling on Obert Robinson III, they really weren't able to get their fives going at all against Marshall. No team is going to be able to do that against Marshall. This is a different game, though. Talk about the differences between facing a Marshall team on Thursday and then Western Kentucky Saturday.
Well, you're playing 4 guards and a forward against Marshall, whereas now, because of Bassey working inside, you're going to have to play a true center because he's that big and he can score.
Josh Anderson banks that in. He's really stepped it up the last few games.
Yeah, Anderson, one of the top athletes in Conference USA. Really, he's really their energy guy.
2-0 Western Kentucky just underway. Western Kentucky won at Charlotte easily on Thursday. And as you mentioned, Old Dominion lost here by 3 on a last-second 3 by Marshall. Off the mark is Caver, and a foul 94 feet away as we take a look at Rick Stansbury in his 3rd season. Just picked up his 50th win here at Western Kentucky last time.
13 years at Mississippi State. Maybe now they're getting back to the level he had. Them, of course, was assistant at Texas A&M, and he really supercharged Billy Kennedy's club with his recruiting. Bowling Green, Kentucky is a great spot to both coach and play college basketball. And with his recruiting efforts, the Hilltopper fans, a good little mix.
I mean, 2 guys going head-to-head with major conference experience. You mentioned Rick Stansbury, Mississippi State, Jeff Jones at Virginia. Foul underneath on that loose ball, and it looks like it's going to go on Western Kentucky's Josh Anderson.
The foul is charged to the Hilltoppers number 4, Josh Anderson, his first, team's first.
Stith has a rainbow shot, and he has been scoring like crazy of late. But they need somebody else. Xavier Green averages 8 points a game. He's the only other player they have healthy right now who averages over 4 points besides the 2 great guards.
Well, Benton missed that one, and he's only made a couple of threes on the year, but he looked good taking it. As Western needs another 3-point shooter, so teams just can't load up.
There's that rainbow that is way off. Benton alley-oop, deflected away by Robinson III. Good hustle by the big man. Caver driving, he gets it blocked by Benton, and it's off the head of Caver and going to Western Kentucky. 2 great defensive plays, 1 from each side.
Well, Mike Caver's just sitting there going, how did that happen? I mean, he just beat him right off the bounce. There's Benton trying to throw that alley-oop. It's deflected away, and Benton comes back and repays the favor by blocking Ahmad Caver's shot.
Western Kentucky top 10 in the NCAA in blocked shots this season, number 9 in the country. And going into the first row is Hollingsworth.
That was an amazing athletic play. He landed on his feet. He might have landed on his feet and sat in a chair. Seriously, like, it's one thing to jump over, but you're always worried about how you come down. He jumped, oh no, he landed on the chair.
That was a leg drop on that chair. That's the one chair nobody's sitting
it's the
in
one
on the
chair,
sideline.
Jeff Jones's chair. And now, had they done, had Brian Stith not taken first chair inside second chair, Brian Stith would have had a pair of Nikes right in his face.
Old Dominion still looking for its first points of the game. Green, too strong on the 3. Anderson cutting, and he gets fouled. He'll head to the free throw line.
Josh Anderson just has great energy. Only had 4 in his first conference game. Not a great three-point shooter. He's only taken 9 on the year, made 4.
Josh Anderson with 2 shots.
But this guy going downhill gives you just electric energy. Yeah, it's interesting. I think you look at Western up until the Wisconsin win, and you'd say maybe they've underachieved. But remember, you lose Darius Thompson, the 5th-year transfer from Virginia. You lose Justin Johnson. You lose Dwight Colby. You know, you insert new players. And even this year, they had Deshaun Murray. And, you know, since making a change in their roster, they've just been a better team.
Good defense from Bassi, who has more blocks than 79 Division I teams, and they reward the big guy for running the floor. That was his 36th block of the season. It's 6-0 Western Kentucky.
That's a highlight you're going to see when he gets drafted, either this year or next year.
Mark the tape.
Right, because it's not just you block a shot without fouling, you keep it in bounds, then you run the floor and finish.
Stiff is short. Old Dominion's 0 for 8 to start this game. Doug, I asked Coach Stansbury before the game, is he a one-and-done player? And I thought the answer was going to be yes, or maybe a lie. I could tell he was telling the truth. He's not sure. He's kind of all over the place on NBA boards right now. What do you think?
Can I watch a little more?
A little bit.
Remember, the position of center, which is what he's going to have to play, as Banton misses that pull-up jump shot. The position of center is one that's changing and evolving. You got to be able to move laterally, and you have to be able to defend the rim, which he does. You mentioned how many block shots he has. You got to be able to run the floor. You got to be able to play pick and roll basketball, either pick and pop, which he can shoot a little bit, shoot the college 3, and you got to be able to roll and finish at the rim. So is he a super refined low post player? No, but nobody throws it in the post anymore. The position's different. Now, he's not as big as the old school kind of traditional centers would be. He's listed at 6'11", but I think he's closer to 6'8", 6'9". But it doesn't matter. You don't have to be. It's about your lateral athleticism and ability to defend the rim.
Banton misses that. Western Kentucky on top by a touchdown and an extra point. It's 7-0 here at Old Dominion. We are 4 minutes in, and the Monarchs are 0 of 8 from the floor. Stith gets it back. 0 of 9 from the floor, and that goes off of the big guy, Elbert Robinson III, and we reach our first media timeout with Old Dominion stuck on a goose egg. 7-0. 0 of 9 from the floor are the Old Dominion Monarchs. Kristen Balboni here, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm Chris Hassel. Doug, what's going on with Old Dominion here?
They're doing what's called loading to the basketball. Okay? And Villanova, obviously, is probably the most famous for doing this in the NCAA tournament and when they've won the Big East 3 of the last 4 years. It's with the exception of when Stith gets it. BJ Stith gets the ball, he drives. There's all kinds of red jerseys in there. They're loading off of the non-shooters. As you mentioned, Old Dominion only has 2 scorers. Everybody else is like, should I shoot, should I not shoot? They don't have anybody to stretch out that defense. And Western Kentucky is very well prepared for ODU's 2 scorers, Caver and BJ Stith, and not allowing them to get lanes to the basket, making them kick out, making the non-shooter shoot.
Kristen, what would you think if I just turned my back like this, just kind of blocked you out of the conversation altogether?
I like this sweater. This is very Mr. Rogers.
I like the sweater, too. I'm just happy to be at the table with you guys.
I didn't know you'd be wearing a sport coat tonight.
Yeah.
He's got the
Chris did say when he saw you in the sport coat, he said, I wish I had brought a sport coat. Look, I have no sport coat on, so it should be fine.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Well, you got the stick.
So wear what you want with the exception of being naked.
Yeah, please don't be naked. Guys, Doug is keeping an eye on the game. I'm keeping an eye on our Facebook comments. I asked everybody to let us know where they're watching from. Tons of Tops fans all over the Facebook comments. We got Tim and Terry, Sheila and Kathy, Jenny, Betty. They are all Tops fans. I would love to see some Old Dominion fans chime in, although it looks like a lot of them are here. A nice crowd here. Zachary's watching from the Magic Kingdom, which I assume means Disney World, which is pretty awesome.
I would hope so,
yeah. I mean, I don't know any other. Judy's watching from Bowling Green. And remember, you can also post on Instagram using that hashtag WKUVSODU. I'm told that we already got a dog picture. You know, we love the dog pictures.
Pugsley is
we
a
know
star.
Pugsley.
Every time we have a Hilltopper game.
Whoa. Have you guys seen my Instagram of my dog?
No.
I don't think so.
We got to put your
You'll
dog
have to
up
send
against
one
Pugsley?
in, Doug.
All right, you guys have to show. Trying to broadcast and send stuff in is difficult. As Banton steps into one. No, it was
That's Savage.
Excuse me, that's Savage. Steps into one. Jared Savage.
And he's really been good from beyond the arc.
Well, over half his shots are threes, and
boy, it is an ugly start for Old Dominion, and it keeps getting worse and traveling.
yeah, no offense. And then this is one of those where Jeff Jones, I think you want to match big for big, but at some point you're going to have to play small because you just don't have any offense.
0 of 9 from the floor. They also have a couple of turnovers.
Outside of that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Well, the show is nice for Charles Bassey, who's now 6 of 10 this season from three-point range. When he gets an open look, he'll take it, and more often than not, he'll make it. And Bassey's been very impressive in the early going. 5 points, a rebound, and a block. And great defense being played so far by the Hilltoppers. Going to get a foul with 9 seconds on the shot clock.
So you're asking me to evaluate Charles Bassey. Okay, so what do you have to do? Block shots, run the floor, catch and finish. This is one possession I told you we'd kind of bring back. Beats everybody down the floor, catches, doesn't just go up, looks around and finishes, and then we saw him hit his 6th-3 of the year.
And Stiff, still ice cold. He's 0 of 4. And now Old Dominion's 0 for 10 to start this game. Old Dominion was the favorite. They were given a couple points. Tavion Hollingsworth misses. Bassey was fighting for it, but Stiff comes down with it. And they almost missed it, but a double dribble indeed. Good call.
That was Tavion Hollingsworth.
Stepped in the passing lane.
Yeah. Stiff was going to go cross court to Caver instead of throwing it to Green.
Block City population 36. That's what he's at now. 36 blocks for Charles Bassey. 12th in the NCAA. And more blocks than dozens of teams. 79, in fact. Western Kentucky going to try to put their foot to the throat of the Monarch right now. They're up 13-0. Banton finds Savage back door, and he lays it in to make it 15-0.
And Hollingsworth just got the ball back again.
Incredible.
Well, this is old, like, park and rec pickup ball stuff where you score a bucket and then you try and get a steal. And the first time it worked with a double dribble, and that time it worked with a deflection.
30 seconds.
Like, just simple. Ball screen, doesn't have it. Here's Banton going one-on-one. Nice little backdoor cut from Savage. Savage scores, and you kind of can't see it because Hollingsworth just stepped in the passing lane on the, you just get it and you automatically throw the ball in. They're not pressing, and you got a deflection.
So Jeff Jones called a 30-second timeout. Play the role of Jeff Jones right now. I mean, what does he say to his team?
Well, first, whatever our best offensive set is, our best play, get B.J. Stiff the basketball. That's what we're going to run right here. And we got to get Bassey out of the lane and he's too good a shot block. But right now he's on defense, so you got to call whatever your best thing is. And we have to defend these ball screens better because everyone's sagging in on Bassey, and that's allowing shooters to be wide open. Here's Western. Here's the ball screens I'm talking about. When they use the ball screen, he rolls. Watch everybody from Old Dominion kind of clogging the lane, and that's what creates openings for West Kentucky.
And got it stolen away by Stiff. First fast break opportunity. Still no bucket and a foul on Green. That's the second time they've committed a foul 90-plus feet away.
Xavier Green is first, team's fourth.
His brother Brandon played here last year. Brandon was a lot more athletic. I mean, look, this is good. This is hands being active, driving, finishing. Just got to make the layup. Oh,
bucket and the foul. Josh Anderson right to the hoop.
Mr. Anderson. And Josh Anderson very much in the mix.
Basket is good by Josh Anderson.
That was Mr. Anderson. That was never mind.
Foul charged to the Monarch number 1, Jason
He
Wade.
leads all scorers, 6 points.
It's 17-0.
Tallulah Zigbe.
A couple touchdowns and a field goal for Western Kentucky.
17-0. You think they're the Colts?
They make it 18-0. They go for 2 and get it.
And Old Dominion is a team that likes to play at their own pace. So that's hard to make up points and play sped up.
Still scoreless. 0 for a dozen from the floor. They're throwing not bagels, but donuts out there. Hollingsworth plus the foul, and it's 20-0. They'll kick the extra point at the free throw line.
Foul is charged to the Monarchs number 4, Ahmad Tabor.
I mean, Ahmad Tabor, he's looking crazy. Look at the officials like they're crazy.
Well, this is a crazy start to this one, that's for sure. It's 21-0 Western Kentucky. And if Old Dominion doesn't break this lid on the hoop, there's going to be fans heading for the exits early. I mean, real early.
Last time down the court, Kithcart takes an early 3.
That one finally falls. And a sarcastic cheer from the crowd. It took over 7 minutes. But ODU's on the board. And an offensive foul on Bassi.
I mean, that's a home call. That's a bad call. Charles Bassi's just posting up. ODU shooting 8% right now, by the way.
Better than 0, which is what they were shooting last time down. They're 1 of 13 for the floor, 0 of 5 from three-point range. They've already committed 6 fouls, so Western's shooting the rest of the half.
Well, now with Bassi out of the game, you feel like you can attack the rim a little bit better.
And that's what Caver does, and he gets the foul call. It's going on Tolu Smith, the freshman from Mississippi, who just checked in.
And Tulo Smith gets crossed up, and he does the I have my hands up, but his body clearly gets right into Caver.
Caver had a good stat line against Marshall in the loss. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, but he did miss 2 big free throws in the final 90 seconds and also turned the ball over during that stretch.
I thought the best game he played this year, he had 21 against in a win when they beat VCU. Of course, Caver originally from Atlanta, Georgia, went to prep school in Wisconsin. They got him early, a great prep school year. And, you know, ODU and VCU, they go head up. Richmond as well in recruiting. It's about an hour and 15 down the road to Richmond, where VCU and Richmond, of course, are located.
Four straight for Old Dominion after falling behind 21-0. It's Jason Wade into the game for Old Dominion.
Now you're seeing the strength of this ODU team, which is defensively, they climb India, and they help him recover very, very well.
Savage driving and gets the bump call as we hit the under 12 timeout. 21-4, Western Kentucky. It was 21-0, and I did not expect this.
No, I don't think the fans here did either, by any means.
Nice showing here. This is a beautiful facility, Doug. I know you had a chance to walk through it and see some of the new things they're putting together.
And right next door, they have their basketball practice facility, which is spectacular. They put $12 million into it. And look, I'd never been to Norfolk before, been to Portsmouth before. So you walk over, I mean, literally, you know, keypad, you get your fingerprint ID. That's their practice court they share with the women. There's also another half court in abuts their weight room. This is their Fortnite lounge where they go in and play
Look at the
Fortnite
colors on that.
and Madden. And then they have a little place to eat in there. And then right across the street is where they all live on the second floor above a bunch of restaurants.
I went and ate at a cafe in between shoot-arounds. It was great. It's a great little community right around here. And this is my first time at the TED, so we went around and took some pictures. It's really cool. I heard you guys talking about it before we started the game about the facilities. I've heard people say it's like an NBA arena without the top bowl, kind of.
Yeah, because you have the six, because you have the boxes. Here's what's impressive. You walk in, I'm like, man, this place is brand new. It's like 2003.
It's been here for, it looks great.
15 years
It does
old.
not feel like a place that's 15 years old.
Here's another one. I don't know. I get bored. I do research. Okay, when you hear the name Old Dominion, you think this school got to be 250 years old, right? It's in Virginia.
Old school.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Old Dominion. That just sounds like something from the Confederacy, right?
Yeah.
Really 1962.
Yeah.
I mean, they claim in 1932, but it's really 1962. 1965, it became Old Dominion University. So it hasn't been around that long, but great history, especially women's basketball early on. And now in men's basketball. And Jeff Jones, of course, was a great player and coach at Virginia and then at American University in D.C. And now has come and revived this program.
In his 6th season here at Old Dominion, he's got Bryant Stiff on his coaching staff, and BJ, the redshirt senior, in his final season with Old Dominion, as Savage makes 1 of 2 at the free throw line for Western Kentucky. These were 2 of the top 3 teams preseason. Conference USA Marshall picked to win it. Western Kentucky got a few first place votes, but came in 2nd, and Old Dominion was the next team down. Second chance opportunity for Jason Wade.
But you see, look, this is a smaller lineup for ODU. You take the big guy out, now you can get into people defensively, and though you don't technically have rebounders, you can run the rebound with tough athletic guards. And I think if you ask Jeff Jones, he probably said, man, I should have started that way even with Bassey.
Deep 3 from Savage. And that one looked like it went off of Kalu Ezekpe. It will stay with Western Kentucky, a new shot clock. Look at the drive from Wade and just sticking with it, Doug.
Yeah, he just kind of forced it and then stays active and finishes on the second shot opportunity. Not pretty, but effective.
Blocked from behind by Ezekpe, but sticking with it on that side was Smith.
So this is the problem when you play small is Western Kentucky has good bigs. And they're going to beat you on the first shot and the second shot. You got a gang rebound.
Good position by Stith. Still can't get it to go. Ball's on the deck, and Western comes out of there with it. Stith is 0 for 6. And they go right back to the big guy, but it was knocked away, and here comes BJ. Nice drive, and he finally gets one to go.
And that's Ahmad Caver. What great hands he has. Caver sees Tulo Smith put the ball on the deck, and the freshman just too loose with the basketball. He pokes it away, creates the opportunity for his teammate.
A whistle on that rebound, and they're going to call a foul on Old Dominion. What'd you see, Doug?
Well, it's a box out. And I think it's actually going to be called on Western Kentucky.
I thought he signaled 0-0. That would be Smith. So the fans thought they were calling it on.
But Tulo Smith gets the ball in the low post. And this is one of the things that you see. Caver starts the fast break, and that creates it for Stith. You know, it's interesting. I talked to a lot of coaches. I got a chance to coach myself overseas in Israel. This is not last summer, summer before. And I went there thinking I wanted to play 2 big guys. One was a stretch 5, one was an interior player. And then we end up figuring out we were better when we played small. And, you know, one of the things you realize when you play small, as the cold shooting continues for ODU.
2 more misses. They're 3 of 21.
Jake Omer in the game, very good shooter.
Fans wanted to travel when he went down to a knee.
I don't know what they're yelling about. He slipped, dribbled, not a travel.
Well, they're down 24-8. I think that's what they're mostly upset about. Don't want this thing to get too out of hand.
So look, Bassey's going to try and wear you out, okay? But that's a perfect example. they were killing Old Dominion with their offense. And now once you go small, they'll stop running their offense and just throw the ball inside every time.
Caver with the left hand. Beautifully done. It's a 10-3-1 run since it was 21-0.
So a touchdown and a field goal against 3 touchdowns and a field goal. So now once Western gets into their offense, they've been very effective. But what happens when you go small, teams will just start throwing the low post. And the reason they don't throw in low post in the NBA is analytics tell you it's not a great shot.
And another steal. This one from way to the hoop.
Well, we mentioned that this team is built based upon their defense. And first, here's Ahmad Caver, just right to the rim, right to the chin of the shot blocker, Bassi. And then Wade, Jason Wade steals the basketball and does it himself. It might not be pretty, but it is effective. This ODU Monarchs team wants to climb into you defensively.
Now, one of the top defensive teams in the country came in giving up just 58 a game. That's 5th in the nation. And they're on a 12-3 run since that 21-0 start from Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers have not scored in 2.5 minutes, and now the crowd's into it.
The mixing and matching of lineups can be really interesting for this ODU team as now they get into their 1-3-1. And they bring in DeJour Dickens, 7-foot shot blocker. They put him in the middle of that 1-3-1 zone.
Savage takes it inside. Bassi the offensive rebound. It's second chance points.
And that's the problem with any zone. With any zone, it makes box outs very, very difficult, and Charles Bassi knows it. I'm telling you, he plays far older than his actual age.
Just turned 18.
Yeah, just a mature player, though.
Green misses, and Banton the rebound. Western Kentucky's running. Wade got his hand on it. And Green's all alone.
I'm telling Jason Wade has been outstanding defensively, wrecking havoc. He got one of his own the time before. That one started the fast break for the Monarchs.
2 steals, a couple buckets, and maybe Wade, who comes up with his 3rd steal, is going to be that 3rd impact player for Old Dominion. Almost got the roll. But the rebound to Western Kentucky, that would have cut it to single digits. Banton wanted a foul call. They're going to say out of bounds, and it'll stay with Western Kentucky.
Jason Wade's from just up the road, Richmond, Virginia. Man, he is a tough, hard-nosed player. Little deflection, the steal, kicks it up, and Xavier Green, who struggled to this point, gets a dunk. And all of a sudden, a completely different energy in this building.
Well, Charles Bassi has been huge for Western Kentucky so far. 7 points, 5 rebounds, and a block. Doug was talking about how young he is and how he plays a lot older than he is. Kristen, he's one of the youngest players in college basketball.
That's right. He reclassified from the 2019 class into 2018. He was born October 28, 2000. I mean, really one of the youngest guys, even where everyone seems young to me now in college basketball. So that got me thinking, what were we all doing in 2000? Here's some of the headlines from 2000. It was the Y2K era. Remember, I was 11, and I remember staying at my friend's house. He wasn't even born until October. I remember staying at a friend's house, and we were all nervous that the power was going to go out at Y2K. What were you doing, Chris, in 2000?
He hasn't even been conceived on Y2K.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, I was a freshman in high school. I had a girlfriend at the time who had a dad who bought into the whole Y2K thing, had jugs of water in the basement just in case everything went haywire. I'm sure, Doug, you were one of those guys, too. Y2K was going to be crazy, right?
No, I was a senior in college at Oklahoma State, and I mean, we were getting ready to play a game.
Yeah, you're like, as long as it doesn't affect the game.
I know there were lots of people that freaked out, right? That they went to New York. They're like, hey, if I'm going down with a big party.
No way.
I actually remember the year before more because a buddy of mine, Mike Johnson, he got arrested right when they were playing Prince 1999 because it became 1999 because he got caught with a fake ID. But I remember it was New Year's, my senior year in college. I'd already been 21. It wasn't that new to me.
Yeah. Charles Bassey, not even thought of at that time. Yeah. Thought of, yes.
Give you the months,
yes.
Right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
He wasn't even conceived.
Well,
I
October
guess
28th.
Right then.
October. That actually may be. Right?
I don't know. Could have been. I don't know if Charles Bassey's parents would appreciate this.
That's always a good line. Like, listen, if it's all going to be over.
I want to know what everyone on Facebook was doing in 2000.
Bassey trying to go behind the back, and it's another turnover for Western Kentucky. Kit Cart lays it in, plus the foul, and a chance to cut it to single digits. 6 turnovers in the last 5 minutes caused by this Old Dominion defense.
Look at Justice Giffgard. He gets the basketball. He started his career at Pittsburgh, transfers in, redshirt sits out. Another kind of combo guard, but really, really aggressive and active.
Just 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Old Dominion is not a good free throw shooting team. 66% coming in.
We mentioned Y2K in 2000. West Kentucky goes in and gets a much-needed bucket. Josh Anderson, you give him a straight line to the basket. I mentioned he's a great athlete. They got to level him off, make him shoot. You know, Kit Cart played at Virginia Episcopal School in Lynchburg, Virginia. He played for one of the great players to play for Jeff Jones, Kerr Staples. Staples, about a 6'6" 6'1" guard. Give me a shot. My first high major scholarship offer was from Jeff Jones when he was in Virginia. When I was like a junior in high school.
You must not have liked it.
No, I mean, they had a point guard named Harold Dean, and I thought he was the greatest player ever.
Well, Kit Cart is showing us something right now. Before the game, we were talking to Jeff Jones and asking who's that third guy going to be. He said, well, we want it to be just as Kit Cart, but he's been way too inconsistent so far this season, especially against Marshall. So there were a couple moments that he really hurt the team. They left Bassey all alone. How do you forget about the number 6 recruit?
But they're getting their hands on every basketball. They're deflecting everything. West Kentucky has come a little bit unscrewed offensively.
Still a 12-point lead. A right-handed jump hook from Ezekpe.
Ezekpe's only 6'8" or so, maybe 6'7".
Listed at 6'7", yeah.
But going with the undersized big gives them a lot more energy. And though Bassey's a good shot blocker, he went right at him, and Bassey seems to have tired a little bit because they're going to him. So that's the other thing when you're going against a team playing small, they throw it to the low post. That big center gets tired.
Anderson too strong on the 3, and now Old Dominion only down 10.
That's what you want Anderson doing. Want him settling for threes. He's going to the basket. He's trouble. Now they're going to get Bassey away from the basket. Bassey not moving nearly the same as he is fatigued.
Kit Cart passes up an open look. It was 21-0 Western Kentucky in this game. 21-0. That was a brick that almost ended up rolling in.
And you mentioned Kit Cart turning down that jump shot. I like that he made the extra pass, but the other option is you can step in and take a 17'2". They need more shooting on the weak side opposite their stars.
Bassey got great position inside, but yeah, you're right, Doug. He is slow moving down the court. It's 5-on-4, and what a move! The tip, no good. The third tip is good from number 3, B.J. Stitt. And he has had to fight and claw for everything tonight. He started 0 of 6 from the floor, but he's made his last 2. And this crowd is behind the Monarchs. And here they come 4-on-2. Cathcart the spin, the reverse, the rebound, and the bucket from Stiff. Timeout, Western Kentucky.
But this is just about energy and conditioning. You know, the previous bucket, Bassey's not back on defense, so Caver drives in, and Bassey's man gets 2, 3, 4 opportunities. And then in transition, just attacking the basket again. Where's Charles Bassey? He's the one big guy for West Kentucky. He barely made it past half court. West Kentucky tired right before our eyes.
This is as close as it's been since the first couple minutes of this game. Looked like Western Kentucky was ready to turn the lights out right away as they jumped out to a 21-0 lead.
Long game.
But Old Dominion, we talked about the defense. I mean, the defense is what's turned this game around, Doug.
The defense has been outstanding, getting deflections, getting transition buckets, and then I honestly think going small for different instances helped them, even if it hurt them at times defensively against Charles Bassey. Because you throw it into Bassey, he's not used to getting that many touches. And now he's exhausted. So it hurts you on offense because he's missing layups. It hurts you on defense because he's not running back. And they have no power forward on the floor. Nobody to help pick him up on the boards or inside defensively.
They've already turned Western Kentucky over 10 times in this game. Western averages 14 turnovers a game.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Doug, even though it's 30-24, if this continues, Western Kentucky goes into the half with a lead. Do you feel better if you're Old Dominion at this point with the way that they've come back?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, basketball is such a game of momentum, and you obviously you can see it when a team's up 21-0 to start the game, and one team's got momentum. But look, if you didn't look at the score right now, you just look at the body language of the Monarchs and the body language of Western Kentucky. Like, man, Old Dominion's up 15. They're down, but they feel like we got them right where we want them. It's almost timber time.
And how about this crowd? They've been great.
Well, this is one of the kind of hidden gems in college basketball here at the TED.
You see the score and defense top 5 in both points given up per game and opponent's field goal percentage.
And look, it's been hard. ODU is in the Colonial Athletic Conference. I mean, you go back, it used to have American in it. It used to have all Virginia except for UNC Wilmington, but you know, William & Mary would come in here, and VCU would come in here. So there are nights now where you don't have a full house.
Into the backcourt.
Another deflection.
But since it was deflected, it's not over and back. The shot clock is down to 12.
I think there's been one possession in the last 12 that haven't had a deflection.
Good fake from Anderson. He's in double figures now, 11.
He's been tremendous. The one time he settled for a 3 was probably the one bad shot he took.
The sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, left all alone. That's a tough shot. Smith got to get called for the push-off.
What's the soup of the day? It's a soup du jour. Sounds delicious. Right when you hear du jour Dickens, don't you think that?
Absolutely. In fact, that's how it was told to us on how to pronounce his name. Du jour.
Well, that's just when you get a freshman defending inside. As Tulo Smith has looked like a freshman. I think if I'm Rick Stansbury, I have to at least, I got to consider playing Lamonte Bearden. We cannot handle the pressure. Our bigs are exhausted. As Charles Bassey got a quick breather, is going to come in. You have a veteran point guard who's buried down there in the doghouse.
Charles Bassey back into the Hilltopper lineup.
He's got his jersey on.
This is the doghouse, okay? Now listen, when there are guys in suits and sweaters and managers in between you and the rest of the players, see that guy down at the end, number 1?
Right on the baseline.
That is literally and figuratively the doghouse.
Well, as Kristen was telling us before the game, he missed the first 9 games for being academically ineligible, then came back for a couple, and the last couple games it's been a coach's decision not to play him.
DNPCD. You know who has that? Remember who has that license plate at the old place we used to work?
Somebody from ESPN, apparently.
Bob Lee.
The General.
The General, that's his license plate. DNPCD.
All three of us used to work over there.
Did not play a coach's assistant.
Three from Ahmad Caver.
And Ahmad Caver, we talked about his confidence. He hit a three, and he had plenty to say to that Western Kentucky bench, including Lamonte Bearden. Get out here, Lamonte.
Anderson gets it partially blocked, and here come the Monarchs again. And free throws coming for Dickens with 1:51 to play in the first half.
Again, more deflections, hands on every basketball. Really remarkable, right? Probably a foul there on Anderson to Jord Dickens. And that is the dog house.
That is number one, Lamonte Bearden.
I mean, listen, Lamonte Bearden, he put his name in the draft and then pulled it out. Now you get to the point where you feel embarrassed because whatever you've done to upset your coach is now hurting your team. There is a certain part of you that says, all right, you got to play me. We're losing because we don't have good enough guard play. But credit Rick Stansbury. He may lose this battle to win the war.
And he doesn't have any more eligibility left. He's a redshirt senior. Maybe we'll see him at some point tonight. They might need him because it is just a 2-point game. Banton has really struggled. 4 turnovers himself. Hollingsworth hits a huge three to silence the crowd with 90 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they made so many good substitutions, and Jord Dickens was playing so well. I think they just tried to substitute to go small, and they got caught defensively not being nearly as active. And credit Western Kentucky. Running a set play to get their best player, a ball screen, going to a strong right hand, getting a wide open jump shot.
A zone here from the Hilltoppers. Caver for 3, no good. Bassey clears the rebound. 1 minute to play in the first half. Anderson takes it, can't get the roll, and it's tipped out by Western Kentucky with 57.4 to go.
And as good as Anderson's been, he drives in there. He's got 4 white shirts around him. Banton standing wide open in the corner.
That's Aaron Carver, the redshirt junior, who is one of their best inside players. Averages 6 rebounds a game. Already don't have a lot of bigs, and looks like he might
hurt
be.
His wrist. It looks like he's squeezing his hand like he hurt his wrist. And Carver's dad was a great player here.
5th all-time leading scorer, A.C. Carver, late 80s. Brother Trey plays basketball at Hampton. And there's Marquise Godwin, who is missing his 2nd consecutive game. He's likely done for the season. Going to have surgery on Monday. Fractured the 5th metatarsal in his left foot, and he was their 3-point specialist.
He'll go out in that jacket too. That's the good thing about wearing that jacket. What is that, velvet?
The velvet fog. Carver, I think it's more than just a hand.
Yeah, it looks like an ankle. Foot. They put a little bit of weight on that left foot. He's going to go in the locker room.
Very gingerly. So Western Kentucky's lead, which was once 21.
Now you got to keep an eye on that shot clock, and this should be shot here in the next 5 seconds.
And it is. Kit Cart. No good. Zigpay got his hand on it, but they do get a 2 for 1. It's going to be a 11-12 second difference here. Shot clock and game clock.
And the story has been deflections defensively. Let's see if ODU can get their hands on the basketball, whereas Western is going to set a high ball screen with Bassey and then create something off of that. Well, we're going to post Bassey.
Gets it. The help came late, and you can't stop a 7-footer inside with a help from a guard.
Well, they got. I would almost play behind.
Final 5 seconds of the half. And they're going to get an offensive foul. A hook called on Kalu Ezekpe. And Western is going to be able to eke out a little bit of momentum here going into the halftime break. 2.3 to go. They have to go the length of the floor.
I mean, why not throw it up to Bassey right now?
Bassey's one-on-one all by himself. They get it into Hollingsworth, who'll take one from half court.
And listen, Kristen Balboni asked a great question. Don't you think ODU is going to feel better even if they're down? I do, but I think Western, with those last couple possessions and a 7-point lead, still feels like they stabilized something.
They cut it to 2. A 21-point lead was cut to 2. But now it's a 7-point advantage for the Hilltoppers going into the halftime break. Keep it with us at halftime. We are commercial free here on Facebook. Jeff Jones not happy. Kristen Balboni momentarily standing by with Rick Stansbury, who had to be ecstatic with the way this game started. Kristen?
Coach, you come out of the gate hot, 21-0, but then ODU battles back. How do you look at this first half?
Well, sometimes, first off, we're glad we got off that kind of start. That can be fool's gold sometimes. And we got off that lead and we relaxed, and they made a run at us.
We got a little bit of momentum there going into the second half. How do you make sure that you keep that going when you come out of the locker room?
Well, we got to quit turning the basketball over. Way too many self-inflicted turnovers. And that's what got them started. I get them some easy baskets in transition. And it was as much us as them. They're a good defensive team, but a lot of our stuff we tried to do because we got relaxed because we got that big lead. We can't do that.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
All right, Krista, thank you. He's referencing those turnovers, 10 of them in the first half, and the Monarchs were able to get back into this game. Cut a 21-point deficit to 2, but it's 39-32 at the half. And to send it to our Conference USA studios just outside Dallas, Texas, Maddie Morris with a look at the Conference USA Players of the Week. Welcome back to Norfolk. Old Dominion, the home team, trailed 21-0. They cut it to 2 in the first half and trailed by 7 at the break. With Doug Gottlieb, I'm Chris Hassel. Kristen Balboni is with us as well. This game, a little bit like the Conference USA season so far. We're just in the very first week. It's in its infancy. But what sense can you make of this 14-team conference?
Well, I mean, like, look, last year, Middle Tennessee had been so good the past couple of years. Obviously, you have a coaching change, and you lose the best player in the league. You lose so many seniors, so they're off the top of the mantle. But like, look, I think North Texas is really, really good. And then I think then you have a bunch of other teams like a Western Kentucky having the signature win for the league, beating Wisconsin on your own home floor. And then you have Old Dominion. You have others. I think it's a really good league. But I think it's going to get the respect it deserves. Probably not. Louisiana Tech last year, a lot of people thought could challenge for the league. This year, same thing. They just go get popped by Rice tonight. But I think that the league has recovered from a couple years ago being viewed as one of the bottom mid-major leagues to one of the top, if not the top, true mid-major league.
Whoever comes out of here always ends up winning at least a game in the tournament. 4 consecutive years a team from this conference has won a game in the tournament. Looking at some scores tonight, Old Dominion fans got to be blown away by that Marshall-Charlotte score. And Western Kentucky fans too, probably. Marshall almost lost at Charlotte after coming in here to Old Dominion and winning. So Marshall winning by 3 here at Old Dominion, by 1 at Charlotte. They're off to a 2-0 start. And North Texas barely snuck by Southern Miss.
They survive at the drum, but they moved to 2-0. Ryan Woolridge, their junior star, averaged about 13, about 6 assists a game. What a big win for Rice, the Owls, to get a win at home. I'm excited to see what UTSA does now with Javon Johnson back, coming off that ACL injury. As you saw, Conference USA Player of the Week. He gets healthy, and all of a sudden now Javon Jackson has a chance to really take that team to a completely different level. Man, it's a 21, 22 a game guy as a sophomore who missed most of the offseason because of that ACL injury.
North Texas leading the way at 3-0 right now. Of course, Western Kentucky would love to get to 2-0 tonight. Old Dominion's trying to avoid an 0-2 start. Kristen?
Yeah, guys. Well, I am time checking in on Facebook and on Instagram. Like I said, we want to hear from you all throughout the game. Would love to hear your thoughts on Conference USA. We just heard Doug and Chris's. So remember, keep those comments coming throughout the entire game. We'd love to hear from you on Facebook. We also love to hear from you on Instagram. Remember, all you got to do is go to Instagram, use the hashtag WKUVSODU, and you can see your picture right here during the game. So earlier, we had a little bit of a famous dog in terms of Hilltoppers on Pugsley, and we said, oh, isn't Pugsley cute? Now we got a few more dogs representing WKU. Now that is cute. Andrew says some of us aren't as excited to watch the Hilltoppers as mom and dad. I have to say, I bet the dogs are up and awake now after that first half. Tracy says WKU VSODU. So there you go. You see that hashtag right there that Tracy used with the little Go Tops, an adorable pug in the WKU outfit. I'm not sure if that has a hood on the back. I like that t-shirt, though, on the pug. Keep using that hashtag right there, WKU VSODU. Send us a picture of your dogs. I mean, I always love a cutest dog competition in the breaks. That's the fun thing about these games here on Facebook. We don't have commercials. We want to hear from you as much as possible, be that on Facebook or on Instagram. So remember, just keep the comments coming as we get into the second half, and also keep those pictures coming on Instagram. WKU VSODU is the hashtag. Guys?
And the picture of those dogs, Doug was showing me a video on his phone of his dog. Looks like jumping over a house. That was huge.
We'll show it to you a little bit
Your
later.
dog jumped over a house?
No, I mean, it's over a 5-foot jump.
That's pretty impressive.
It's incredibly impressive. It's actually...
Because your dog has a funny name, right, Doug?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Jr., that's
yes,
right.
Yes, we call him Odie, but Odell Beckham Jr.
That is an interesting name.
You remember the movie Money Talks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
remember where he said he was Sammy? He made up his name as Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
So my son's favorite football player at the time, then the dog was a puppy, was
Okay.
Odell Beckham Jr. So I thought it'd be funny to name him Odell Beckham Jr.
Things change too fast for kids, though.
We call him Odie.
Now he probably doesn't like Odell Beckham anymore. Let's show you some first half highlights. It was a one-sided start, to say the least. Western Kentucky led 21-0 7 minutes into this game, Doug.
It was over, and then it wasn't. Complete and utter domination. The game being played at Western's pace. They weren't pressing. They were just playing good, solid half-court defense and half-court offense. And all of a sudden, ODU changed lineups, started deflecting the basketball, getting out in transition. And now we had a basketball game. The energy in the arena changed. You see B.J. Stith off of the Wade deflection, gets the putback, and then Stith steps into a jump shot. And then Ahmad Kaver dishes off to Soup du Jour, and du Jour Dickens does the rest.
And even the baby's awake for it. Got the popcorn rolling. Great crowd here tonight in Norfolk to watch Old Dominion. They really had to pick this team up down 21-0. They got into it in a hurry, and they got back into it in a hurry. After that 21-0 start, Old Dominion outscoring Western Kentucky 32-18. And use that hashtag right there, WKUVSODU, to be heard on Facebook and Instagram. We get set to start the second half. Old Dominion will have the basketball. Down by 7. They actually cut this thing to 2. And then Western Kentucky finished the first half with a little bit of momentum. But still feel like the energy in the arena is on the side of Old Dominion, and the way they are able to play defense. You got to wonder what Western Kentucky is going to be able to do in the second half. Took them over 7 minutes to score in the first half. Let's see how long it takes them in the second. Halfway through the shot clock. Green working on the freshman Banton. Drops it to Elbert Robinson the third. Gets it blocked by Bassie. His second block of the game.
Elbert Robertson started the game, played like the first 5 minutes, was completely ineffective. As part of that, when they were trailing 21-0, then we didn't see him using mothballs. Starts out the second half getting a shot block. He's there to put a body, just consistently put a body on Bassie, so that when ODU drives, it's almost like clearing out the lane for him. It's like a moving screen. The problem is they keep throwing to the low post. He keeps trying to score over Bassie. He can't. See how he just puts a body on Bassie so Bassie can't block the shot? It's actually by design.
Two teams trading baskets to start the second half.
Anderson was very effective in the first half, driving to the basket. Here's Banton, not much of a shooter.
And Anderson leaning into the contact, and man, what a game that Jason Wade has had in the start here in the second half.
And I love that from Jeff Jones. Reward the guys who played well. Nothing worse than you outplay the other guy in the first half, and then he's like, well, you know, I'm going to bring you off the bench just because that's who we do.
Getting the start in place of Aaron Carver. Part of the reason might be because Carver got hurt, banged up at the end of the first half. We saw him helped into the locker room with what looked like a leg injury. Banton gets a screen from Bassi. That ball deflected. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. It's down to 12.
We talked a lot about Wade, but Kaver was also very good. Look, he got another deflection there.
Shot clock at 5. Banton still down there with it. Shot clock is going to expire here, and there it is. Shot clock violation. Great defense.
But this is why ODU's back in this game. Like, they're just willing to scrap. You come into 7-5-7, and you better be willing to scrap. There's a deflection, another deflection, and then fumble! Bam gets it. Kaver pulls it loose. The ground can cause a fumble in basketball.
I think
Bam just got the ball, and he was like, all right, I'm good. Like, no, it's not a fumble. We don't blow the play dead. Keep playing, dude.
All 5 members of the Monarchs touched the ball. And there's a 3 from Xavier Green. Leads the team in three-point percentage at 42%. And it's now a 4-point game.
He was 1 for 6 in the first half, 0 of 2, and kind of stopped looking at the hoop. He kind of sits down when he shoots. Not a totally fluid shot. If he makes it, it opens it up for him.
Shot clock now under 10. Savage spins. Rebound stiff. Wade crosses over into the paint. Got it blocked by Savage. Bassi cleared the rebound.
Wade's just limited offensively. He's tremendous defensively, but offensively, he's not much of a scorer or finisher. He just plays really hard. Tough kid.
Hollingsworth hit the deck. Wanted the foul call, didn't get it. Kaver trying to draw a foul on Bassi. The fans wanted it. Stitt for 3. This is as close as Old Dominion has been all game. A 21-point lead is down to 1.
Must get over the hump. You're down 1. If you take a lead, it's completely different than just cutting it to 1.
Hollingsworth was left wide open, and Xavier Green said, that's my bad.
Yeah, Xavier Green has to know that with DeJour Dickens in the game, and guarding Bassi, he's got to sync with Bassi.
Kaver keeping Hollingsworth in front of him. That ball hit off the leg of Bassi. 8 on the shot clock. And that's the media timeout, the under 16 timeout. So Old Dominion will have the ball, but just 8 on the shot clock, trailing by 4. How about BJ Stitt? After an 0 for 6 start, he's hit his last 4 shots.
Well, he's taking much better shots. See, that last 3 was in rhythm. It was very much in rhythm. And Lamonte Bearden also, Lamonte Bearden just checked into the game. So out of the doghouse, the former starting point guard of the Hilltoppers is going to play.
Rick Stansbury wasn't happy with something. He was out near midcourt, and one of the officials had to walk him back to the bench.
It is a huge shot. Like, look, if Western Kentucky wins this game, Hollingsworth shot. Bassi comes over to set the ball screen, and Green goes under the ball screen. You can't go under. You got to know who you got and where you are. He dies on the ball screen. It was a 1-point game. The place is going nuts, and Hollingsworth steps into a wide-open 3.
Stansbury was actually all the way over in front of the Old Dominion bench. I'm not sure what he was upset about, but Tensions riding high among these two teams, among the crowd. We're feeling good, though. We've got a good basketball game.
Absolutely. This is a fun one, especially considering how it started, that 21-0 run by Western Kentucky. But I wanted to ask you guys about Stith and Caver, the two highest scorers in this game, and then obviously for Old Dominion. Our stadium insider, Jeff Goodman, said that he thinks that this is the most underrated guard duo in the country. And Doug, I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Underrated guard duo?
He thinks they're the most underrated
Yeah, I would say that no one wakes up and goes, hey, BJ Stith and Ahmad Carter.
Well, even in their own league, because you've got Elmore and Burks.
Well, and that's because the NCAA tournament, that's the power of the NCAA tournament, right? I mean, but look, I think it's, and they fit together well. Like, BJ's not a great athlete, but just a smooth, skilled player, really smart read screen. And Caver's going to attack. Caver can hit threes. Caver gets after it. I would agree that within this league, at least, it's not what you think of the the Marshall tandem. You think of Keaton Wallace and Javon Jackson maybe more than you think of these two. But they get buckets and they play hard. They play well together.
Yes, they do. We just saw them each getting their 1,000-point balls. BJ Stith got his tonight, so and no denying that they get buckets.
Caver got his before the Marshall game.
All right, let's see what Lamonte Bearden, when he's good, he's unbelievable. 8 seconds in the shot clock. But he can be wild.
And Bearden is out there for the first time in a few games. Back door, beat the shot clock. No, they wave it off.
They're gonna go.
I didn't hear a whistle.
Well, it's remember, clock, light, horn. Clock, light, horn.
So the official had the hand up.
I think it went in. I think it was off his hand.
I thought so too, and there was no whistle blown, but they're going to look at it.
Well, they didn't have to because of the horn. And the ball went in. So clock, light, horn. No, they're going to say shot clock.
Wow.
Remember,
no basket.
Only watch the clock. Don't worry about the light. Clock, light, horn. Oh, that's not close. Yeah, you're right. It has it.
Yeah, it's the right call.
Yep.
Did not beat the shot clock. So here's Bearden. Lamonte Bearden had been benched the last couple of games. He's only played 2 full games this season. Stansbury said at shoot-around that he could play. It's going to be my decision and mine only. They're going to get a foul on Old Dominion. And free throws coming for Western Kentucky.
And this is where Rick Stansbury, been coaching a long time. Look, you made your point. You sat in the entire first half. Look, Bearden's he's running lines. He's trying to get loose. He was sitting over there for an hour.
Just sprinted down to the other end underneath the Old Dominion hoop and all the way back.
So he reads and he says, all right, I had a freshman point guard. I need a redshirt senior point guard and put a small lineup around him with Bassett.
Doug, I wonder how much rust is there for a guy like Bearden? Obviously in great shape, but as Chris said, only played 2 games.
Some. I think the hard thing is, like, look, he obviously did something to upset his head coach. Can you just play? Like, can you not play with one eye on the bench? You can't play to be a pleaser. You guys just play your game. And the Milwaukee product will take some chances with how he plays. But it's not like he hasn't been practicing.
Drive and bucket. Caver will get one more at the line.
Now Bassey struggled to get over to help on the ball screen long enough. He's guarding DeJour Davis, who's only a finisher. Caver gets around that corner, stays shoulder to shoulder.
Caver, the leading point scorer for Old Dominion, 13. And he shoots this thing from about 17 feet. He's a couple steps back. Not a good free throw shooter, under 70%.
Actually, he shoots that from 15. To make a free throw, it's 13-9.
Because the hoop sticks out a little more than a foot off the baseline.
Correct.
Savage got it blocked. He wanted a foul call, had his hands up. They don't call it. Kick cart out to Stith for 3. Stith has made his last 5 after an 0 for 6 start. His game epitomizing his team's game. Fell behind 21-0. Now the lead is 1. Shot clock under 10. A foul with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, Stith's a very, very good shooter. If he drives in there, he got his shot blocked. You have to go in and draw the foul. And then we mentioned the athleticism of Wade creating a shot for a teammate. B.J. Stith steps into another one.
After the foul, the shot clock resets to 20. Bearden picks up the dribble.
He's a very confident ball handler.
Shot clock under 10 again. Anderson short. And for the first time tonight, Old Dominion has a chance to take the lead. Caver looking to his coach, Jeff Jones, for the call. Anderson jumped the pass and stuffs it.
A basket by Josh Anderson.
I mean, those are Hollingsworth hit the 3 last time it cut to 1, and now Anderson with the run through and finish when it gets cut to 1. Those are winning plays from the Hilltoppers. He traveled. This is called a run through, and Anderson just kind of makes you think that you're going to be allowed to make the pass, and that's nothing more than Ahmad Caver making a lazy pass.
So back-to-back turnovers for Old Dominion when they finally had a chance to take the lead. Bassey has position, and he'll go to the line.
This is really smart, good coaching from Rick Stansbury. You know, Stansbury gets credit for being a great recruiter. This is excellent offense. Throw it to Beard, a little Iverson cut over the top for your best scorer. You get caught on high side, and they throw it right in the post.
And Bassey's been a good free throw shooter this season as well, 75%. We were talking with Coach Stansbury about Bassey at the shoot-around. And the first thing he said before he said anything about the way he plays basketball, what a highly rated recruit he was what a great person he is and how smart he is. A 4.0 in his first semester in college.
I never had a 4.0 for any semester in college. Like people can sit there and go like, well, you know, what classes is he taking? Like, did you get a 4.0? I didn't.
Underwater basket weaving.
And like, hey, weaving's hard. I don't care what you take. 4.0 is hard, man.
That was a high arcer from Caver. Had to throw it over the top of Bassey. They get another crack at it.
No, I mean, you know, listen, every college athlete's the same. Like, you try and find a major that you might use, and then you try and find, you know, the easiest classes in that major. That's not just athletes, that's anybody. No one's marketing.
You're kind of a marketer.
Yeah, but I mean, if I had to take general business, I would have had to take 2 stats, and I hated stat, and I would have had to take 2 finance. Whereas marketing was all kind of theory and a lot of oral presentations.
Which you would be good at.
But like, you know, were you in a frat in college?
No, we didn't have frats or sororities.
All right. But I mean, word gets out like, hey, I can tell you, no matter how hard or easy you think classes are, getting a 4.0, that's hard. I've never done that. No, I wasn't. Basketball players generally don't have time for frats. My frat was Oklahoma State basketball.
Yeah, that's its own fraternity in itself. Under 12 to go here in the game. Old Dominion down by 4. Shot clock to 7. Stith, jump stop, off balance. He's on fire. Started 0 for 6, and he's made his last 6. Too much for Bassey, and it's a turnover.
Now, B.J. Stith was out for about an hour, a couple hours before the game with his dad, who's an assistant coach. His dad's the all-time leading scorer at Virginia, working on shots just like this. You mentioned the high arc. Anyone who's ever played basketball knows the higher you shoot it, the bigger the target. And he kind of gets his feet tangled there and just floats it up in the air, perfect backspin and in.
So,
no secret why he's such a good scorer.
If the target is bigger when you shoot it like that, why don't more players shoot those high arcers?
It's a good question. Obviously, it cuts down on the distance you can shoot. And, you know, there is a limit where you can't shoot at completely 90 degrees. But like you've seen a basket, if you look at it from the top, you can fit 2.5 basketballs in. The lower the trajectory, the smaller the target area.
Well, we're glad you could join us on Facebook, wherever you're watching tonight. A lot of people watching from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And Western Kentucky had that 21-0 start, Kristen. That lead is almost gone. 2-point game.
We have got a great game, but the great thing about Facebook is that we don't take commercial breaks. So in the midst of this tight game where we're all excited and focused on basketball, instead of showing you a commercial, we have time to show some Instagram pictures. Lighten the mood a little bit, give everyone a little bit of a breather. So remember, you can use that hashtag WKUVSODU, the Wilson family. We say, let's go Tops. Hanks Holmes, Bowling Green. That sounds like a builder to me. Ice Drake, 213. Monarchs, I like it. Nice to see the Monarchs being represented. I like the face of the lion on that t-shirt. A lot going on that shirt. Rockin' Man 1. Using that hashtag right there. Again, you can use that hashtag WKUVSODU if you want to see your pictures. Oh, we had a lot of Hilltopper dogs earlier. Now we got an Old Dominion cat, and I like it. Decker C100. Adorable cat there with the flag. Chris, here's Zoe. She may not look it, but she's a huge Topper fan. I love to see. I mean, there's never a bad time for cats and dogs, that's for sure. It really lightens the mood in what is a tense, exciting game. Oh, okay.
Keep the bulldog away from the big bull.
From
That's right. I mean, and then that's okay. I like that dog is so big they can't even put a shirt on him. He's just sitting beside him. Yes, absolutely.
There's Josh Anderson on the bench. He has 17 points to lead all scores, but the Monarchs are coming. Down by 2. See what Jeff Jones drew up in the timeout. Stitt cuts back door. We're tied! The 21-point lead has evaporated. Here's Jake Ulmer. Savage in on Stitt. Rebound ODU. Caver spins, got cut off. And now they'll rekey the offense. Got a couple screens out high. Caver. Got it blocked by Bassi. Block number 3 for the freshman.
Well, West Kentucky's been caught trying to run through passes a couple times in this game. They've gotten a couple of steals. And that's B.J. Stitt just reading there's nobody in the lane with a great backdoor cut and a beautiful pass.
Shot clock to 4. Kit Card. Coming up on 10 minutes to play in the game. Old Dominion started 0 for 12.
Ulmer can really shoot, so you're not going to help off him.
And a foul is going to be called on Xavier Green.
The foul is charged to Monarchs number 10. Xavier Green is second. Team's fourth.
It's the 4th team foul, though, so we're not talking free throws yet. It's been pretty clean in the second half. Dejor Dickens checking on for Kalu Ezekpe, who gets a little talking to from Jones. Wade is on as well, replacing Green.
Well, they're trying to throw numbers of bodies at Bassi, even though they're depleted inside. ODU is so depleted inside. You play through Bearden, let Bearden create something. He's a very confident ball handler and far and away the best passer on this Western team.
Bassey with 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it out. Hollingsworth, 3, no good. Oh, tough rebound from Savage. Jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with Western Kentucky.
Hollingsworth can shoot, but he's not really a shooter. So this is good defense, but Savage has just been Johnny on the spot. That's a tie-up. It's also a travel on Savage before that.
And they call the jump ball. Hollingsworth.
Nice pass.
He left his feet, but saw the big man wide open, and Bassey now has 14. 6 of 8 from the floor.
Well, he kept Azure Dickens engaged, and you said left his feet, double clutch, and layup.
Kid Card gives Old Dominion its first lead of the game. Good head fake from Hollingsworth. Can't get it to go.
Like you're going to say, how'd they come back from 21-0 down? Look at the score.
Still is unconscious. He's hit 8 straight. He started 0 for 6, and he's made his last 8 buckets. He's up to 19. Bassey forces it, and Stitt the rebound. They score here. Stansbury's going to have to call a timeout. See if they try to get it back to Stitt.
They keep trying to go over the top of these screens and chasing Stitt.
A step back 3!
Stop it!
Ahmad Caver has upped the lead to 7. A 9-0 run and a timeout, Rick Stansbury.
Well, look, they've only hit a couple. But when they go, Ahmad Caver, who shot 19% from 3 at Pittsburgh, comes in, steps into one. And then Stitt, why are you going over the top of the screen against the shooter? He makes you pay. And now you're feeling good. The place is humming. And Ahmad Caver shoots a step back contested 3. Well, it's not a good shot, but you're in rhythm. Little team heat check. They go from 4, what were they?
21 down.
They were 21 down with 13:70 to go. And look, the story, everybody's going to point to the offense and making threes, right? Well, look, Western's got 51 points. So in the last, 13 plus 7, 21 minutes, they've scored 30 points.
Yeah, Western Kentucky was up 21-0 at the 13-minute mark of the first half. 21 points in the first 7 minutes of the game. Just 30 points in the last 20 minutes. And Old Dominion turns a 21-0 deficit into a 7-point lead with 7:44 to go.
You mentioned how excited this crowd was. They just had Mo Bamba playing, you know, the song that's become kind of it feels like it's become the sports song. You hear it at every arena, you hear it at all the football games. They had Mo Bamba out here, and then Big Blue, the mascot, was out on the court just getting down. This is hyped as I've seen this crowd, even including when they took the lead.
Great environment, great place to play, and as we talked about right at the outset, a game they really need to win the regular season conference championship, already losing to Marshall on this
floor. And then putting in full context, right? Like, you lose a starter to injury at the end of the first half. You're down 21-0 to start the game. And this is a Western team that's good.
Yeah, really good.
Really good. Like, not a chump team that's coming in. And, again, I understand how we mentally think, well, they're making shots now, so they're better. It's the defense. They have locked in defensively, and they've gotten so many deflections and steals before they hit those shots. Eventually, you're going to hit them. And how about B.J. Stitt? And look at the leadership. Now he's talking to his teammates. They're smiling. It was a funeral in here when they were down 21-0.
Who would have thunk this? And now Western has to find some kind of offense. Hollingsworth gets the handoff. 10 on the shot clock.
It's a beautiful set, but they don't have enough shooting in.
Banton bricks the three. Hollingsworth gets the rebound and gets fouled.
Yep.
Timed that jump perfectly.
They ran a gorgeous set to get the ball into Charles Bassey. But, you know, you have Delano Banton, who is not a great shooter and had been sitting. He'd been sitting for 7 or 8 minutes. So the first time he touches the basketball is wide open on the wing, and he didn't miss it terribly. That's a hard shot for anybody, let alone a freshman.
Hasn't scored a field goal yet in this game. I know it's very, very early, but Kristen has a question for us and the Facebook audience as well.
Yeah, so you guys were talking about it at halftime. Doug, you were saying about how CUSA has increased their level of respect and has really moved up in terms of mid-majors. One thing that I want to know from both of you, and we call it thumbs up, thumbs down. So yes, thumbs up, and then no, thumbs down. I want to hear from everybody on Facebook is, could Conference USA be a 2-bid league in the tournament? We know it's very hard for these quote-unquote mid-majors to secure that second bid. We know Middle Tennessee did not get it last year, even though they were ranked for quite a while at the end of the season. So, Doug, I'm just wondering from you, thumbs up or thumbs down, could CUSA be a 2-bid league?
I'm going to go thumbs up. Okay. I'm looking at the latest net ratings, right? Remember,
Yes.
the RPI is gone, net ratings.
Right.
North Texas, who won tonight, squeaked out. They had, I believe, the highest ranked CUSA team at 39. And look, I completely understand that you're going to be told from every network, and I've worked for all 3 of them, that, you know, look, it's the net ratings and it's this and it's that. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of people sitting in a room who watch a lot of basketball. And I think Middle's success in the NCAA tournament, I think the success in the other tournaments from North Texas last year, and I think watching Western Kentucky handle it, beat Wisconsin, who's a respected team, and was playing well when they came in to Diddle Arena, I think that plays a factor.
Yeah.
I'm going to go thumbs up. I think, especially if North Texas ends up with a couple losses in the league, they'll get 2 bids in.
I'm going to go thumbs up as well. Now, if the question was, will they? I would say no. But can they?
Or should
yes.
they? Or can.
Can
It's a
they?
thumbs
Yeah,
up.
can.
It's a
They
thumbs
can.
up with a can because, like Doug said, North Texas, if they run the table in the regular season, they only have 1 loss going into the tournament. They should get in.
Asking a team to run a table, considering not just the talent in this league, but the travel in this league, is crazy.
Yeah, Thursday, Saturday.
What's yours?
I agree. I'm also a thumbs up. And we'll see how the bonus play at the end of the season plays a part into all of that as well.
And if you're wondering the net ratings for these 2 teams, Old Dominion has the better net rating at 89. Western Kentucky a net rating of 120, and that's because some of the bad losses. They do have some really good wins this year. Wisconsin, St. Mary's at Arkansas, West Virginia on a neutral floor.
Right, but like, that's a perfect example. You make that schedule, you're like, man, West Virginia's going to be great. St. Mary's going to be great. St. Mary's kind of stinky this year. West Virginia. But, so it's one of the things about the rankings, the ratings, and your out-of-conference schedule. Rick Stansbury tried to load up, and some of the teams they loaded up against aren't as good as they normally are down here. Kind of like Notre Dame in football, right? Like Notre Dame in football, they beat Florida State, Virginia Tech, Stanford.
All down this year.
Yep.
Look at Hollingsworth tapping that into the backcourt. He was able to get his hand on it. The shot clock expires. Old Dominion didn't know it. That shot went in.
Well, that shot clock should reset.
Now, they never had control of it. It was tipped all the way into the backcourt.
That's it.
But Hollingsworth never had control of that ball. So they're discussing it now.
Discuss whether or not he had control.
Raymond Styons, Brett Smith leading this crew.
You got like before, during, and after with hair loss there between the 3 refs. Have you noticed that? Like one's got luscious full head of hair, other one kind of in the middle, and then he's like, you know, fire it before it quits on you. Isn't that amazing?
Well, it certainly looks like they've decided that the shot clock should reset because Rick Stansbury is not pleased. And, I mean, he never had possession. He tipped it into the backcourt, ran after it, tipped it again. I mean, I think it should be a shot clock violation. I mean, there's no control whatsoever. If you have to have control, that's the wrong call. But maybe some home cooking here. in Norfolk for Old Dominion.
Very much a judgment call as to whether or not, because he did directionally tap the ball to himself.
Saying that he tapped it to himself. So
that's all what your definition of is.
Oh, Stitt finally missed. He had made 8 straight. That one was halfway down. Western Kentucky ended a 9-0 Old Dominion run the last time they had it. Trying to fight their way back. Hollingsworth, high archer over the outstretched arm of DeJour Dickens.
He's got such a good first step, especially going to his strong right hand. What a good player he is.
And now the fans trying to encourage the team once again. They finally got over that hump, finally took the lead, went up by 7. Back-to-back buckets by the Hilltoppers. Dickens, tough shot, banked it in.
That's one of those you just tip your cap, right? You're going up against our shot blocking center.
Or throw your arms up in the air. I mean,
you know, and he's not a. But DeJour Dickens has played well.
Hollingsworth draws contact and gets 2 free throws. Take a look back at that last bucket. I don't think he called it.
Up and under, back to his right shoulder. That's perfect defense. And
that was like a 10-foot jump hook.
He's like, running down the court.
A little flex. 2 shots for Hollingsworth. I mean, and he's their best free throw shooter, 80%.
DeJour Dickens, he's played 2 years of college basketball, and I think that's his 22nd made field goal. And he's not a go-to scorer, but that's the thing that momentum does, and energy does, makes those shots seem to go in.
And they get a big bucket from a 5 as well. That's one of the things the coaches were harping on at shoot-around today. They were telling the big guys, hey, we're not going to win this game if we don't have play from the 5. The 5 position, Dickens, Ezekpe, Robinson at times.
Now he's in the go.
Short corner, and Dickens stuffs it.
Now that is what he does.
Loves sitting in that short corner of the zone.
That's a little bit lower and closer to the short corner. Call that the dunk or the ghost position.
Ghost position.
Yeah. Call it the ghost because you can't see it, yet you can catch it and finish from there.
Savage gets it stripped away. Stiffed.
So you put somebody in the dunk or in the ghost. You get it below the level of the backboard, so it stretches out the defense. But you got to be close enough to where you can one-step catch and dunk. That is perfect basketball. High post, high to low. Look, he's behind Bassey. Bassey doesn't even know where he goes. Not only that, but DeJour Dickens switches sides so the defense loses sight of you.
5 on the shot clock, Doug. Bassey's got to launch a 3. Oh, that's huge!
3-point field goal for Charles Bassey.
I mean, he doesn't take many, but when he takes them, he makes them.
Yeah, he's like what, Sex Panthers, the Cologne, and Anchorman?
60% of the time, it works every time.
Right.
He's 7 of 11 from three-point range this season.
About 60 or some odd percent. 60% of the time, he makes it every time. That's what I meant.
The lead is now 2 for Old Dominion. Dickens is feeling it. Offensive rebound, then Wade, right place, right time.
And then that's because even though that Dickens shot, not one you normally want him taken, Charles Bassey trying to block the shot, no rebounder inside for the Toppers.
12th offensive rebound for Old Dominion. Caver separates. And Western Kentucky will have a chance to tie or take the lead under 4 minutes to go.
Bassey still got some hitch in his giddy up now, but he struggles to score on Dickens' length. So you're probably going to want to get him in pick and roll. Oh, they had him on the roll.
Cross court. Hollingsworth gets fouled. And he'll get 2 shots on the other end of the timeout. You didn't like it, Doug?
No, trail official. Trail official couldn't see it. Man, I'm going to agree. Let's watch.
Take a look, see if it's all ball.
They can't see. Like, how can you see that? That's the trail official next to Stansbury makes that call. Now, he's probably helped out by Rick Stansbury saying, foul.
Well, 3:24 to go. And we might have a tie ball game after these 2 free throws. It's been a fun night here in Norfolk.
It has been a fun night. One of my favorite parts is seeing what everyone has to say on Facebook and Instagram. We know everybody is fired up on Facebook. We got some Instagram pictures that we want to get in before this great game comes to an end. I mean, look at these dogs. Those are beautiful dogs. And clearly, Winston has its own, Instagram. Winston, the English setter. Mom and Pop are both WKU alumni and love cheering on the basketball team. Small school but mighty, no doubt about it. Love that. Dooley, all these dogs have their own Instagrams. Doug, does your dog have its own Instagram?
He does.
Oh, there you see. I've fallen behind. My dog does not. Chris, does your dog have its own Instagram?
No.
Okay, maybe you and I need to get on this.
Instagram basically is my dog's Instagram. Post Nori pictures all the time.
So your dog's sitting there going like, I want to post.
Those 2 dogs are on top of it.
Well, we got a Monarch and a Hilltopper going head-to-head right now on the floor, and a really good game. Great crowd.
Can I just say something? We got a shot of the floor. I hate this. Not that I don't like the kid interaction on the floor.
Yeah?
But kids come in with dirty shoes.
Oh, as a player, you don't like it.
No, it's 3:24 to go, and you got all those dirty shoes.
Well, let the kids get out there.
Let's keep our eye on it.
You've never gone to the YMCA.
There are some of us who will never get to play on a basketball court, so let us go out there every once in a while.
You come out on the court, but I don't want to slip and not be able, like one of the great things when you go from high school to college, right, is you never again, remember you're in high school, you're always spitting on the floor to clean your shoes or wiping your shoes. You got the
sticky mat.
You got this, it's called a slip and knot, right? If you look over by the scoreboard, by where you check in, there's a little thing you walk over and it's sticky and there's a panel and you clean off your shoes. We call it a slip and knot. You don't even need it because college basketball floors are pure and clean. Get those little kids with all that dirt on their shoes? No, thank you.
That Caver
That's
just
called a
went over
slip
there
and
and
knot.
used it.
Yes, I'm the old man. Get off my lawn. There's 3:24 to go in a 2-point game.
And 2 free throws coming for Tavion Hollingsworth, top 10 in the conference in free throw percentage, 80%. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Western Kentucky led 21-0. Old Dominion grabbed its first lead of the game here late in the second half and used a 9-0 run to go up 7, but Western has responded, and it's now tied at 62. And it's anyone's ball game now. Old Dominion lost a heartbreaker on this court 48 hours ago to Marshall on a last-second 3. Wade drives it in on Banton, throws it up, and draws the foul.
I mean, it was an awful drive from Wade. He didn't even look up. Banton drops his hands to try and steal the ball. If he just leaves his hands up, I think he's okay. He drops his hands. And no, I didn't think there was a foul, but by dropping your hands, you're going to get the foul all night.
Wade hasn't attempted many free throws this season, 7 of 12. They make it 7 of 13.
He is not a confident shooter from the perimeter or from the free throw line.
And the advantage to Western Kentucky at the line, they are 73% this season. Old Dominion just 66%. 5 of 9 tonight. Misses both.
Well, now you know where you're going to foul if you need to. A horn set.
Savage spins, tough fadeaway. No good, and a good box out. A rebound to Ezekpe. A lot of nervous energy in this building. They do not want to fall to 0-2 in conference. Stiff, no. Tip, no. Third time, no. Foul on the floor. But it's still not over the limit.
It's a well-coached team from Old Dominion. Just simple little pin down for B.J. Stith, and he got in the lane. Could have dropped it off for the dunk instead by shooting it, and everybody trying to block his shot. That freed up the offensive board.
Just the 5th team foul. Shot clock resets to 30. Stith out to Green, an open look. He got it! Old Dominion by 3, coming up on 2 minutes to play. Green got his hand in there. 22 on the shot clock. For those of you just joining us, at the 13-minute mark in the first half, it was 21-0 Western Kentucky. Bassey posting up, double team, inside Anderson, no! And it tips out to Caver.
Why did Anderson shoot with his left hand?
Step driving, got it stripped. Savage turns, oh, what a block! Kalu Ezekpe stuffed it right back where it came.
Savage made up his mind he's shooting as soon as he caught it. Ezekpe blocked that thing with his left hand. He nearly took out a cheerleader in the process.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Hollingsworth gets a screen from Savage. Looking for the entry pass. Hollingsworth thought about the deep three. Shot clock under 10. Gets a screen. You know he wants it. Too strong, and a rebound, Old Dominion. There's Wade again.
Can you close? I want B.J. Stiff to get a touch in the mid-range.
8 for his last 10 after starting the night 0 for 6.
Number 3 in the white. Here he is. He puts himself right underneath the hoop and come off a little pin down.
1 minute remaining.
Ezekpe didn't even screen for him.
Shot clock to 5. Wade kicks it out. Stand the 3 off the mark. And I don't think that hit the rim, so they're going to call a shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation, Western Kentucky basketball.
With 52.3 seconds to go.
Well, they end up getting a pretty good look, even though you have a couple non-shooters in the game that didn't want any part of shooting a jump shot.
Hit the bottom of the backboard. And Western will have it with 52.3 to go. Hey, you can catch our next Conference USA game on January the 19th, a couple weeks away. Western Kentucky hosting the Owls of Florida Atlantic. The game exclusively on Facebook, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Stadium, welcome to the game. What a great couple of games these fans have been treated to here at Old Dominion. They began the conference slate on Thursday at home against Marshall. Lost on a last-second 3. Right now they're up by 3 with 52 seconds to go. Western Kentucky has the ball. They've missed their last 4 field goals.
Let's go, Monarchs. Let's go, Monarchs. On your feet, Monarchs. Less than a minute to go.
And if you're looking at three-point shooters for Western Kentucky, the best one is Bassey. The big 7-footer is 2 for 2 tonight.
Savage can really shoot the basketball.
Well, he's their best shooter on the season. 3rd in the conference at 41% is Jared Savage. Tonight, he's 1 of 3.
Now, they don't have Jake Omer in the game who shot the ball well, hasn't gotten as many reps this year.
So they're looking at that shot now, and to see if that ball did graze the rim.
I don't think it grazed the rim.
Let's go back to Thursday night, the aforementioned game between Marshall and Old Dominion. Final seconds, it was tied up, and Jared West hit the 3 to give Marshall the victory. And Marshall won tonight as well by 1 at Charlotte. So they're 2-0. Old Dominion trying to avoid going 0-2 in conference play after a great non-con. They brought an 8-game winning streak into conference play.
Really helping the conference out, and obviously helping out their own fate in terms of postseason play. And now you got to close. If you're Western, one, you want to go early here. Right? Timeout call. Let's go early right away so we get a second possession. If you do so, and you can go get a 2 right now. Just go get a quick 2. And then play defense, you'll get another possession back. You can't wait. You can't walk the basketball up the floor. If I'm ODU, I probably have some sort of full court pressure on just to slow them down. So by rule, Chris, they have to put 7/10 of a second back on the, I screwed it up again. They got to put 7/10 of a second back on the clock.
On the game clock.
Yes, from when the ball was released from his hand, when the shot clock actually went off.
Because he didn't.
It has to be perfect, in other words.
So right now the clock reads 50.3 seconds. Now it reads 53.
Because it was 52.3, so they added 0.7 seconds.
Add the 0.7.
You got to push the basketball. Every second matters. Turn the corner, try and get a layup.
Anderson picked up the dribble. Banton throws it away. They're going to say offensive foul. And they're going to get Bassey underneath for the clear out.
I mean, extend the arm, but
that's one of the points of emphasis this season when you extend.
It's an awful call. It's by rule, it's an awful call. That's where people make rules that don't understand basketball. That's just awful. It's not the official's fault. He called it right based upon how it's supposed to be officiated.
They would have turned it over anyway.
Yeah.
And there's about a 12-second difference, and they're playing it out. Shot clock to 10.
Cannot foul. You got to rebound.
Deep two! Here comes Western. Under 20 seconds to go. Anderson. Little up and under. No good. Tip. Good. 10.5 left. Timeout. Rick Stansbury. 3-point game.
Just finding a way to find points for ODU. The defense is what got it back in this game, and then Mott Caver, a little mid-range pull-up, splash. Caver made a big step-back three as part of that back-to-back-to-back three run, and then makes that one going to his left, where he's a stronger pull-up jump shooter.
Caver, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He is a stat sheet stuffer and hits a big 18-footer. And they have the basketball, do the Monarchs, with 10.5 to go. So, if you're Rick Stansbury, go for the steal, obviously, right away, and then you got a foul right away.
Steal and foul right away. Now, remember, you got to know who's in the game. So you have an assistant coach telling you who's in the game based upon substitutions and who we want to foul. You don't have a ton of time to be choosing. But there's 2 different schools of thought. One is obviously you try and get a steal. The second is you try and make the weakest free throw shooter catch the basketball.
Not a good free throw shooting team, as we've mentioned. Is 66% on the season, just 5 of 10 tonight. Stitt, not the guy you want at the line if you're Western Kentucky.
He cannot catch the basketball. BJ Stitt. Anybody else, you know, Azikpe is a good free throw shooter, but he's only shot 12. As long as 3 in the white doesn't catch it. So if I'm Anderson, I am face guarding him. Make them throw it long for a layup.
Stitt, 88% at the line on the season. They try to get it to him. It was tipped. And it will stay with Old Dominion. Stitt saying, hey, they fouled me.
No, they can go to the monitor.
And they'll look to see if it went off him, but the...
Now, here's the thing. Even if he got fouled, they can't fix it. But they can fix it if the ball went off his hands. You understand?
Right.
Because what they used to do a lot of times in basketball is, hey, we might have missed. You can obviously run the baseline. Now you won't be able to. Can't see from that angle. Just no way. I'm blocked off, so I couldn't see. You got the guy in the bench pointing the wrong direction.
Yeah, he wants.
Dude, we're going the other way, bro. We're going the other way.
And certainly from that angle, there's no way to overturn anything. And the call on the floor is Old Dominion ball. The Monarchs have not made a free throw yet in the second half. 0 for 3. And it'll stay. Old Dominion ball. This crowd of 6,928 on their feet.
Now you cannot run the baseline, so now you want to put Bassey on the ball. Okay, because now you put your biggest body on the ball. And then if Wade catches it, you want to foul him. But you cannot let Stitt get the basketball no matter what.
Bassey is on the ball. Right there by Stansbury. They get into the backcourt, and there is a foul call, and it's going to be Azikpe.
Now, look, Azikpe, based based upon the numbers, right? 10 of 12 from the free throw line, a good free throw shooter. But that's only 12 free throws. That's not a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Sample size.
Not a big sample size, no. But he's been good given the opportunities. I doubt there have been free throws with these stakes.
There you go.
Or this kind of pressure this season. And it is a 1-and-1. 10 of 12 on the season. He's just 1 of 6 from the floor tonight. Gets one more.
All right, now if you're Western, go take a layup and then foul right away. But see, this is why it's a little thing, why you should have pushed the ball up when they had 53 seconds to go. More time.
So calm, so cool. The lead is 5. Hollingsworth's going to take it inside. With 1/10, puts it in. And Old Dominion erases a 21-0 deficit. And knocks off Western Kentucky.
That's the most deflections I can remember from a team that's not pressing. They deflected balls left and right. It was their defense. Their offense came in waves in the second half, and they scored just enough points. But to get down 21-0 and hold in the first 7 minutes of the game, and to hold the team to 66 points, that was incredible defense, and they did so with harassing deflections and just great energy.
There's Kristen Balboni, who's with the victorious head coach, Jeff Jones.
Coach, congrats on that win. You were down 21-0 to start this game, and you come back and battle back. How'd you get it done?
We just hung in there. Unfortunately, this year, we've been a slow starting team. This has happened to us, maybe not 21 like that, but these guys just keep hanging in there, and we kept telling them, just keep playing. Finally, a couple guys came off the bench and really gave us a lift. Jason Wade and Justin Kithcart came in and really gave us a lift, and then everybody kind of rallied from that point on.
You had another close game here at the TED on Thursday. It didn't go your way. You come in here and you play a close game. What'd you learn about your team with this close win here?
Well, I think it reinforced that this is a resilient group that's going to fight to the end. The other night we didn't play great. Marshall was really good, but we hung in there. It was disappointing, but we knew we had to bounce back against a really good Western Kentucky team.
Your guy over here, B.J. Stith, one of your leaders, he got his 1,000-point ball tonight and had a great performance. What'd you think about what he did?
He was okay. He was okay. No, I mean, BJ, he's obviously he does a lot of stuff for us. He was terrific. He really struggled coming out of the gates, but the way he kept his head up, kept leading, and then, made some really big buckets down the stretch.
Coach, congratulations. BJ Stith, after a great game. All right, I got to ask you, down 21-0, and then you come back in this fashion. What did Coach say to you at the half?
Our coach didn't have to say anything, We have a great group of guys back there. Ahmad, myself, Big Albert, we got seniors that's been in this situation before. And we knew we weren't going to crack. We knew the character that the guys had in the locker room, and we felt that we were going to make a comeback at home.
You got your 1,000-point ball tonight, and then you helped lead this comeback. What does this win say about your team?
It says a lot about our team. It shows how much grit we have. It shows how much heart we have. And it shows that no matter what the score is, we're always going to play 0-0, and we're always going to play hard, regardless of a slow start, fast start, and we're going to play 40 minutes.
Earlier at shoot-around, we saw you and your dad out here practicing. What's he going to say to you after a night like tonight?
He's going to say I got to work on my game a little more after the first half that I had, but I can guarantee he's proud of me for me continuing to fight through that struggle. It was tough, but I had to do it for my teammates.
All right, and you did. Go enjoy that win with your guys.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, back to you.
Down 21-0, facing an 0-2 start to conference play. Old Dominion behind B.J. Stith comes all the way back to knock off Western Kentucky. 69-66, the final. And now both teams 1-1 to start conference play. For my broadcast partners, Doug Gottlieb and Kristen Balboni, I'm Chris Hassel saying good night from Norfolk. And what a game it was. The comeback by the Monarchs.